Hi, in this video I want to mostly attend to the usual questions about the ranking systems in the 66 group sites. As you already know, there are two different prediction-based minigames. One is a winner prediction with a complex ranking algorithm, and the other is a betting simulator. Both of these minigames are accessible to every registered user, and both are about predicting the games in the next 24 hours. It's worth noting that the number that you see under the chat box is the total number of online users, which includes both registered users and anonymous visitors. If you want to see how many users have ever played or are actively playing each minigame, you can go to the Stats and History section and scroll down past the top 20 users to find this information. If you want to participate but don't have an account, you can easily sign up and start playing. You can find more details about signing up in an older video. It's free and simple. In the betting simulator game, your only goal is to grow your initial 1000 virtual money, and the only parameter that it used to rank you against other users is the amount of money you've made. That being your current balance plus whatever bets you have pending. There are also some limitations that makes the betting simulator different from an actual betting site. For example, you can only place a single bet on each game. And each bet you place has to be less than 3% of your current balance. These measures are implemented to create a fair and competitive experience and deter users from creating multiple accounts. In the prediction section, the ranking rules are a bit more complex. I'll try to break them down in this video. The first time you log into each site, you'll be placed at the end of the ranking table, and you'll have to work your way up from there. You can predict the outcome of some games and how sure you are of your prediction by choosing a number between 1 and 4. Each point will net you more score in rankings if you've predicted right, or will lower your ranking score for each wrong prediction point. How much is the base prediction bonus or penalty is different for each game, and is calculated based on the odds and final score of the game. You can find the exact algorithm used here. The first and most prominent parameter that affects your ranking is whether you've been active in the prediction section or not, which means the worst active predictor at any time will get a better rank than the best inactive predictor. The rule for being considered active is that your last prediction must be made no more than 3 days before the last predictable game on the site. For example, if a game is predictable on Monday, you have to predict at least one game by Friday of the same week, unless there has been no other predictable games during that time. So if you notice that your rank has suddenly dropped due to inactivity, just predict a game and wait for that game to end, and you'll be considered active in the new ranking table that gets generated after said game. The second important parameter in ranking is having at least 100 points predicted total. So again, that means any user with 100 points spent in the prediction game will get a better score in comparison with any users having spent less than 100 points. This will just act as a filter, preventing users from creating multiple accounts to get a lucky streak on their first couple of prediction attempts and reaching the top users prematurely. So it can be said that you'll not be participating in the real prediction game until you've reached the 100 points mark and you are an active user. When both those requirements are met, you can compete for the top users, and the rank you'll receive can be considered your real rank. In this section, you can see how much you have left to reach the 100 points mark. And finally, the third and last parameter, which is actually the most important one, is the score the ranking algorithm will assign to each user. We've had the 66 sites lead programmer fact check our script to make sure what we'll describe is exactly the actual algorithm, and he also helped us explain some nuances that may seem counterintuitive. The ranking algorithm uses each user's past 100 predictions and gives or deducts a score based on each successful or failed prediction. After a game is concluded, the score difference of the game alongside the last odds that was available for the same game on the betting section will be put in this algorithm provided on the site to provide two numbers. One a penalty to be deduced from the users that predicted that game wrong, and one a bonus to be given to users that got it right. This action will also get multiplied by how many points each user gave to their prediction. So for example, if a user rightly predicted the game's result with a prediction power of 1 and gets 1 added to their score, another user that made the same prediction with a prediction power of 4 will get 4 added to their score. As you can see, the site uses the odds from the betting section, which in turn are extracted from real betting websites in its algorithm. But it's generally not a good idea to look at the odds before predicting, as it can cloud your judgment and make you second guess yourself. This can't be avoided in the betting section, but in the prediction section, these odds are not visible to prevent such issues. So I also recommend to first use the prediction section with your own knowledge and foresight. Then use the betting section if you wish to do so. Also keep in mind that not all games are active in the prediction section. Only the games that both their odds are higher than 1.69. This is to make the prediction section more interesting and filter out games that are too one-sided. There is also an edge case, where a game will first be available for prediction and then its odds will change enough so that it's no longer eligible for prediction. However, if anyone has already predicted that game's outcome, it will stay predictable. So if you see a game being predictable that is now one-sided by the 66 sites definition, you know why that is. Another point that's worth emphasizing is that your rank is always based on your last 100 prediction. That means if your next prediction does not receive a better score than your 100th prediction, your overall score will decrease. It also gives those that had a bad start the option to remove their past wrong predictions from the ranking calculations, and their total success rate will only be shown in the ranking section as a separate stat. But that is also true for everyone else, so the competition stays fair. You might also see your score increasing after a successful prediction, but your rank getting worse. That would be because other users might either predicted the same results as you, but used more points, or they have predicted an outcome for another game that had more bonus points than the game you've predicted. For example, when the odds are 1.7 and 2.3 for a game, and you successfully predict a team with a lower odd will win, you'll receive a bigger bonus, compared to when you successfully predict a team with better odds will win. All these rules and formulas have been tuned meticulously over the last couple of years to create a fair and competitive experience. Seeing all these, it should be obvious why sometimes a user with a better overall success rate, for example 60%, is ranked lower than someone with a 55% success rate. And finally, the admin of the website gave me an interesting piece of information, that all of the 66 groups sites are actually the result of non-profit projects. concerning AIs to use the wisdom of the crowd and predict important likely global events, and help humans make better unanimous decisions on a global scale. The project has pivoted over a long period of time into the sites you see today, but they still have their first goal and are trying to pursue it through these sites. So by participating in these mini-games provided, you're actually contributing to a scientific endeavor. I wish you and free world the best.